And I'm happy to repeat what I said, which is Governor DeSantis has made a mockery of the system, and he has consistently and constantly, as many of you have reported, has done political stunts, has not helped to address the issue, but has instead decided to put the lives of migrants who are coming here for a better life at risk, and that's what we have seen from this governor. Look.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. Look, I've talked about this topic endlessly on my broadcast, when I've been interviewed in the past, articles I've written and have published in the past. I've quite frankly had enough of this nonsense. This propagandist for the Biden regime needs to be called out for her nonsense. DeSantis has made a mockery of immigration, political stunts. What about the Biden regime violating Title 42, dumping tens of thousands of criminal alien invaders in our neighborhoods with illegal transport by air with no identification, which is something not afforded to Americans, at taxpayer expense in the middle of the night to Tallahassee, to Albany, to Harrisburg? You have no idea the provenance of these criminals, their medical status, their criminal histories, their origins, and yet you dump them in our communities, burying us in the cost of your racist policies. Karine Jean-Pierre, the migrants to whom you refer are not migrants. Migrants knock on the front door. Migrants secure legal visas for entry, not invade and violate our sovereignty. Immigrants, within reason, are welcome in America. Criminal alien invaders endanger our nation, especially the millions of fraudulent asylum seekers. Crossing our southern border, unless they have come from Mexico as a point of origin, not a single asylum seeker has a legitimate claim to come here. Not a single one. The internationally recognized norms for political asylum involve applying for that safety at the first safe harbor you reach. So for El Salvadorans, Mexico is a place you must apply for asylum before you reach Texas. You don't get to come to America because you're destination shopping. Apply for your asylum in Mexico. It's safe. Now, this is an incredibly generous nation. No one can hold a candle to our generosity. And the American-hating leftists need to sit back, be quiet, and listen for a minute. For those who follow the rules, they take an average of 7.3 years to become a naturalized American citizen. And those folks are welcome on our team. 10 states are disproportionately impacted, usually in a positive way, by naturalizations. Included in that list at the bottom, number 10, is Pennsylvania. As you can see, even in a slow month in November of 2021, the United States naturalized 41,000 new Americans who came in through the front door, legally, follow the rules, and are willing to become part of our society, bringing their unique cultural and historical origins and traditions to our kaleidoscope of America and assimilate into our society at the same time. Now, this generosity doesn't even take into account the consideration the millions of permanent residence green cards that we issue. The number of new Americans has been consistently high for nearly the past 30 years, averaging around 700,000 per year, and even climbing during the evil, racist Trump regime. No other country in the world comes even remotely close to this level of generosity. Unlike Canada, we don't set high standards. Over half these folks get to come here based on kinship alone. In other words, they have a family member, some family tie, not on their skills, which is what Canada requires for immigrants. They like to milk the world of its talent. At a time when your ilk, that is, not black lesbians, no. At a time when your ilk, that is race-hustling, America-hating leftists, demonize white Americans, more specifically old white men, bear in mind it was those evil, largely Christian white males who let all these folks into America. And who exactly are the people coming into America? Icelanders? Germans? Norwegians? Irish? Estonians? Hardly. Here are the top 10 countries of origin in 2021, the most recent available data: Mexico, India, Philippines, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Vietnam, El Salvador. Not a single majority white country on that list. I suppose you could include India as a white country, given that Indians are considered Caucasian. Anyway, but we quibble. In other words, old white men have been welcoming mostly people of color, yet you accuse them of fearing losing power. Do you mean the power they relinquished to black men through the 15th Amendment in 1870, 153 years ago, or to women through the 19th Amendment in 1920, 103 years ago? It took old white men to relinquish those and give those rights. As far as immigration, it was almost exclusively old white men who approved the 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act, which allowed these tens of millions of people of color into the country in the first place. So stop your idiotic, factually incorrect, race-hustling tropes. This is a generous country, and I'm sick of hearing your nonsense. If it wasn't for our generosity, there would be no Ilhan Omar. There would be no Rashida Tlaib. They wouldn't be here. Their parents, and they would not have been allowed in this country. So stop your idiocy. DeSantis is not doing any stunts. Your political regime, Biden, is causing the stunts. Hey, folks, give us a follow and follow the channel. Thanks a lot.